The most positive people in the world are monks. Monks are so peaceful. They're so unbothered. They meditate so much. They don't believe in negativity. Now, people are not perfect. I believe there's a mean streak in everyone. I believe that negativity is inside everyone. It is up to you to control it. It is up to you to navigate how you are negative. There's many different types of negative people. I've been reading a book called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. Highly recommend. It's very humbling, actually. If you want to be reminded by all the things you should not stress about, here you go. They actually have a really good chapter on the types of negative people. Because I feel if you target your negativity in life, you can overcome it. If you find out your type of negativity that you put into the world, because everyone does it, everyone has some negativity in them, no one's perfect, okay? You're not a monk. Monks are religious. It takes a certain level of belief to be completely positive, It's really hard. It's life. But here's the little image of the types of negative people. I go more in depth because I like to take notes while I'm reading my books. And also, I want to talk about what type of negative person I am at the end of the video. There's 6 types of negative people, and it's funny, they all start with the letter C. Weird. But let's go over it. The first one is complainers. Self-explanatory, but they complain endlessly without looking for any solutions. Self-explanatory. They just want everyone to know their problems. They just want everyone to feel for them. They just complain, complain, complain. They don't even want the problem to be solved. They just want everyone to know. That's spreading negativity. Canceler. Take compliments and spin them. So let's say someone compliments you and they say you look pretty, right? A canceler will spin that. They'll be like, oh, I'm pretty? Was I pretty yesterday? I'm pretty now? Why are you saying I'm pretty now? Was I not pretty before? Do you think I did something? That's negative. You can't just take the compliment. You can't just be like, thank you. You have to spin it around and find an excuse as to why they complimented you. That's negative. The third one is a casualty. Think the world's against them and they blame their problems on others. A casualty, so like a victim. They feel victim to their life. They're blaming everything else. They're not the problem, the weather's the problem. The day of the week is the problem. The time of the day is the problem. Casualty, poor you. That's negative. That's spreading negativity. Critics, they judge others for either having a different opinion or not having one at all. A critic needs someone to have an opinion because a critic is always bouncing off of others' opinions. They are judgmental. They are a labeler. They are labeling you for not saying anything, even if you don't have anything to say. They're a critic. They are being negative toward your opinions. And if you don't have one, they get upset. Critic. That's so negative. Commander. Realizes their own limits, but pressures others to succeed. So they think they can't do it, but they think you can. So they're just going to critique you. They're going to critique everything you do because they don't see themselves doing it. So they have this insecurity and they're projecting insecurities onto you, commanding you to do these things when they can just do it themselves. Commanders. Negative. Competitors. Compare themselves to others, controlling and manipulating to make themselves or their choices look better. So that's pretty much the entire social media. Constantly comparing ourselves, we're competing. It's like we can't have a sense of self without someone else being there. That's a competitor. A controller monitors and tries to direct how their friends or partners spend time, with whom, and what choices they make. So a controller is just controlling. That's negative. They are monitoring other people and they want control over it. That's negative. I believe out of all of these negative types, I'm a canceler. Definitely a canceler. Throughout my whole life, I can't take a compliment. I can't feel like I'm actually doing good sometimes. I spin a lot of compliments. Now, don't get me wrong. I do feel like I have a tendency for a lot of other types of negativity. I think everyone has a little mix of all these types of negativities. It's just which one really makes you the most negative? Like, which one are you the most? And I believe I cancel my compliments the most. I need to work on that. I just want to put it out there. We are so negative all the time. The only non negative people are religious monks who consciously choose to be unbothered, choose to be peaceful. That is hard. They are undistracted. They are in tuned with themselves, in tuned with their beliefs. That is so difficult. I want to put this out there because there's a lot of negativity in the world. So much negativity. We get so caught up in it. It's part of our persona. It's like a personality. Why is negative people even a thing? Why is that a personality? I feel like if you're being negative, it should be in bits and pieces in your life. It should not be a tendency. It should not be a repetitive thing. We need to work on our negativities as people. We need to work on it. Now, we're not perfect, but we need to acknowledge it. We need to acknowledge that we're actually projecting negative energy. If you want to be positive, be positive. Don't be negative. Acknowledge that you're being negative. Acknowledge that, you know what, you're not perfect and everyone has something to work on, especially when it has everything to do with your peace. These are my notes, by the way, if you want to take a picture. But yeah, we need to find peace in ourselves. And that's where it starts. That's why I've been reading this book, because I've been losing a lot of my peace, a lot of my grounding. And life is just getting crazy. So thank you guys. I hope you find this helpful. And yeah, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.